Okay, so here is a video about my sketchbooks. I have here bookshelf where I just kind of stack in my sketchbook like I feel in the process. So let's see. So I have this bookshelf above my table, and I just like to see how it's became more and more filled with sketchbook. I have like it's 2 times, like almost 3 times longer, so it will be like a lot more. I can actually show it. So yeah, so I have some more. It's on the left side is not finished sketchbook. Some of them like half finished. There's like for different theme, different kind of sketchbook. I will also mention this. So for me, like sketchbook, like I decided in one moment I want to have like thematical sketchbooks. So it's like this one is about clothing. So here, let's say. So I've been reading book about how to draw folds, and it's just convenient to put all information in one place, so I can review it and like refresh my memory. So what I also will do soon, I want to make some tutorials about drawing folds, and I will again kind of refresh my memory by looking at this sketchbook. So it's some kind of study book for myself where I gather all essential information. Hello Drove Peel. Yeah, it's this sketchbook, some of them even like from 2013, but mostly it's 2022 and this year. So here it was some from book, then here from other side I just make some studies, like especially like military here, like some equipment, and like I have this file with like PDF file with different references, like about different materials. So I've been like make my first effort of trying to draw different kind of material. So it's like silk, linen. I'm not really happy with it, but no, it just was like my first attempt. So you see here it's like cotton. Here this like I forgot how it's in English. Then denim. So in sometimes, you know, you don't worry much about make like perfect result you wish. At least sketchbook always helpful in when you're like learning something, and you can see more details, you can better understand, better observe. So like me, I was just like, I have no idea about clothes, I'm not like fashion guy or whatever. So I start to make research, and I start to like draw all these different materials, just trying to figure out and build my experience, you know. So here we have this like vinyl, because all this I think is part of our visual vocabulary. Is like I say, and I always talking about this, your visual vocabulary, your visual memory, all this stuff, first of all is about your understanding, about your general knowledge, like how many stuff you actually know. Like you know about something, like what exists, and then how much do you know about construction, about structure, about features of this stuff. So I was like watch some YouTube video like where is SWAT policeman. On his YouTube he was talking about his gear, so it's like what is inside. So I've been make some sketches from YouTube video, just you see like kind of study to understand function of each element, to see like how it works, so like how he kind of open close it. Then it was paramedic YouTube channel. He was talk about paramedic gear, so it's like their clothes, there's like paramedic belt, so he have some gun, max there, sheriff badge, very interesting. So if you want to draw such stuff from memory, you need to watch some or read some books, you know. You need to really see how it works, you need to really understand it, so then you can draw it from your memory, because you know what is this stuff. So here's like made kit. Then I was find some kind of visual dictionary of clothes, did some sketches of like historical clothes, like different stuff. Then here I recently find interesting, it's like how say, like plates for this growing area kind of, so it's like kilt, or it's like samurai, yeah, kind of like a samurai kilt, you know, very interesting. So this is like armor plates, and this how it's like connected, is have a belt, and it's also can use this belts here. So I still plenty to finish, so I have this on my shelf, so I can continue filling it. And this is like one type of sketchbooks I have. So one of type of sketchbooks, it's thematical. So same type sketchbook, like, but this about firearms. So here I've been also watch some tutorials about construction of firearms. Now maybe this video will be demonetized because I mentioned firearms in my video. It's weird. But so here is very interesting, because I did some illustration like sci-fi dudes with a weapon, and in Reddit a lot of people write for me like, oh, you have like, you don't know what you draw, you need to study weapons. And yeah, then I start to study, because you know, I wish people enjoy my art. So people who like really into some subjects, they will, you know, really appreciate your work, because they see you have attention to details. So at least don't make like very general mistakes. Hello Jack B, thank you. Draw peel tray. Do you pencil those objects first, or you use pen immediately? Like sometimes pencil, sometimes not. It's totally fine use pencil. Even it's better sometimes, because with a pencil you will have like two iterations. First iteration is like when you make like proportions, and second iteration you start to draw details inside. I think it's kind of actually is very useful to work with two iterations. Like not necessary to push yourself to try to always draw in one line. It's like drawing without pencil, it's only like exercise, nothing more. It's like exercise or performance when you want to show off your skill for people, you know, like make kind of show for people like who have no idea about what is actual skill. So for average people, like they just judge you by kind of how kind of elegant you move when you draw, you know. It's kind of funny characteristics, like, oh, you can draw without pencil, or like, oh, your movements like so amazing, some stuff. So here been some like study IKEA. I have like different, I forget this, what's this stuff? It's actually written. So it's like a silencer and also like fire, like cover from fire. This is like grenade launcher. So, and also one thing about drawing stuff, like study stuff while drawing, is I don't like muscle memory term. It's more about like building your neural network. So if you never draw weapons before, you need to draw it at least once, you know. So more you have experience of drawing it, just better you understand how to draw it, and more fluent you became, more confident. So I was also work on this thing first, because like at the beginning I'm not really sure how to draw, you know, what to draw, like what to focus, what important, what not important. So I was just like, okay, I will just choose some guns I want to draw and I will just draw them. So I will have like, I will be more accustomed to drawing such stuff. So I start to recognize some nuances. I start to feel like more confident with the elements, with details. So now I can draw much easier like in 3D. So here also was study like find some tutorial on DeviantArt. I think it's like interesting, like kind of major gestures. So it's like if you want to draw, so it's kind of this proper moving pistol from holster. So it's like, you know, like we can see in John Wick. So then it's like different type of holster. So it's kind of fun, you know, you can really also learn this, and it's very easy to recreate when you know it, when you understand it. So you can make like now you can build it in 3D just by knowing like placement. Like okay, we have like shoulder holster, and you can make this gesture in your drawing. Same like this one, like guy swap and reloading max. That's so cool, right? So instead of drawing like some random freakish gestures, you go and you look how actual gestures looks like, and there is certain like a keyframes, you know. So you can choose like in your comic book or in your animation, you can choose which keyframe you want to kind of apply for current situation. Here I've been copy some artist, and so sorry I forget to write his name, or maybe I don't find his name. But here like look like it's he draws these guns like this. I was copy his drawing, but also now I able to draw similar style, because all this previous practice I kind of get through this stage when I was just kind of unconfidently drawing, copying kind of pictures. Now I'm more fluent, more confident, so I actually can draw in this like it's 3D models. I feel like just kind of get some confidence of it, you know. Because this like experiences give you kind of this ability to understand where you can go loose. So you don't try to draw everything perfect, you don't push yourself all the time. So here is my like DIY sketchbook from IKEA paper. I used some streams. It was some video on this paper, and this another kind of sketchbook where I just draw whatever, It's not thematical, it's just random stuff. Sometimes I copy somebody, sometimes it's just here was tutorial about interior on my channel. So copy some artists, experimenting with something, just like maybe making studies or like repetition. Like here I've been drawing a lot of emotions, just to kind of repeat again and again, repeat, like experimenting with some materials, some Kira, this stuff. Maybe you can recognize which YouTube channels I watch. So it's like some of drawings I've been watching, like YouTube channel, and copy, like draw some like notes from tutorials, you know. So some exercises, this kind of stuff. So I don't like to waste paper. So all sketchbooks, they're in general they're filled, like completely filled with drawings. So here is some, just again it's my DIY paper, and just some kind of random stuff, some experiments, trying to draw characters and make some Atomo copies. Again, so this is like I talking a lot about in this channel, and I'm making these video demonstrations. Like, it's one of important part of your self-education. It's to choose direction where you go. So you look for artists who you like, kind of whose style you like maybe you're not sure what you like in his work yet. So this is why especially you need to copy him, just in any way. Like, maybe you don't know exactly like his material, try your material. Best is of course if you can watch some tutorials or books where he explain the whole process. But if there is no tutorials, just try to figure out yourself. And when you do studies, you better understand what you like in his work and what you can use for your own work. So like here it's interesting, it's not very common in Atomo work, and I don't know, it's assistant drawing or it's got here Atomo, but you see like so cool like psychedelic patterns in here. So it's kind of like a fault, but at the same time it's a texture, it's like kind of this groovy shapes, same like here in the water. So you can, I didn't notice it before I copy it, so then only when I copy I was like, wow, it's so cool. I love how he combined abstract quality with realism. So here we have this like abstraction of like movement of this, like you know, it's like hypnotizing kind of, right? This zebra on his clothes, and then we have this movement of this psychedelic kind of pattern on in the water. So this, like I always say, three main characteristic in the work is one is a narrative, is kind of theory, like what are you drawing about. So like here for example, like we can say like, oh, something happened, some action, right? We can say, oh, it's a character, some teenager, or I don't know, like some kind of teenager, I guess, like in Canada, and he have guns, so he kind of angry and scary of something, and there is a light at him. So it's a narrative. It's some words. You can say it in words. You can write these words in the paper, right? It's one aspect of every drawing. Second aspect of every drawing, it's abstract quality. So this abstract quality, it's like you know, like push this button in your brain for a second and realize what you're looking is just marks on paper. It's marks on paper. It's just some white paper and some black marks and gray washes on the paper. It's not a guy, it's not a gun, it's not a water, it's not some kind of image which you see like when you look in the window or or with your eyes. No, it's just illusion. It's kind of some abstract kind of like 2D flat shapes and stains and marks kind of on a paper, right? So this is abstract quality. And point here is like it can be ugly. It can be just some like a mess and chaos when you just like some ugly stains and scribbles on a paper, right? Or it can be like super refined, and you can see in some artist works how much they can be like I don't know, like a diligent, like refined, like it looks like a jewelry, like every line looks so beautiful, you know. Some artists like me, I somewhere in the middle, because it's like in some sense it's very clean. It's like, you know, you can say it's only details, it's nothing more, right? But also it's pretty wobble. It's kind of little I don't know, like loose for some extent. So, and the third aspect is this kind of like imitation of realism, visual representation of realism. So we have these three characteristics: narrative, abstraction, 2D abstraction, and then we have this kind of 3D realism, which we're trying to simulate kind of here in the work. So you should always work with all three together, and like when you combine all three aspects together, so they're like synchronized, and they're actually like water and oil. They cannot be melt in each other. They're not mixable. You can only kind of like arrange them like in a certain balance, so they start to look harmonized and balanced. And when you do this, when you make this happen, it's like looks amazing. So like here, like we can see like how in Atoma work he use abstraction, which like work as a water. So we can say water, right? We can say it's the ripples on the water, so it's narrative. And it's also kind of like it's like realism here, because these ripples we kind of see they're like volumetric, as this kind of like 3D ripples on the water, right? So he kind of synchronize all three aspects, and he work on all three level together in the work. Hello Bully, thank you. Drop you. Yeah, it's like I like Atoma. He use screen tones, and I tried a couple times screen tones. I just don't want to use screen tones, so I tried to like I was study Atoma using just gray wash, so it's gray ink. With screen tones, it looks actually better, but I can. I'm okay with that. I just like ink and watercolor for me. So then so you see, it was just like explore. Then here's some Mobius. Then here just some stuff from YouTube. There was some tutorials I did video on the channel. There was some like my studies, again some stuff. Okay, here was my like kind of homage to Akira. This is my drawing completely, but I forget, it was inspired by some picture from Akira. Stuff like that. Some Spider-Man from cartoon. Spider-Parker. This is, I think, is recent. So this like I recently been drawing. It's a lot of like Ryan Berry copies when I was just studying his drawings. And there's some Scott Robertson, some motorcycles. It's just some experiments with watercolor and Copic. This paper is not good for watercolor. It's just like you make one wrong move and it's became mud. So anyway, I've been make some tries. This I was copied Dipamukh, but I make my own watercolor because in his Dipamukh drawing was in a digital color. Anyway, some more motorcycles. Again, Ryan Berry. Some car studies. This motorcycle from my tutorial about drawing motorcycles. This tutorial about drawing airplanes. Some Ryan Berry. I will make video about how Ryan Berry drawing these details. Like I really love this style, this approach. He kind of very smart, very clever with organizing like this grouping details kind of. So he have, you see this like areas like very filled with details, like very dense, and these areas of rest. So this is the best kind of feature in his work. It's like, and also what I mentioned earlier, we can see he worked on these 3 levels. So in one level it's just cool pattern design, because we have like this like patterns, just these lines, like here abstract shape is not so busy, and then abstract shape here is like very busy. So it's like just like busy pattern and less busy pattern, again busy pattern, and then some like more empty pattern kind of. And also it's kind of narrative, because we see, oh, it's this mecha with a girl. So some again video from tutorial. Here some Ryan Berry put some watercolors. Here's some experiments. So this video from drawings from my tutorials about how to draw interiors. You can see in the channel. Also it's recent drawings of cyberpunk. Here's this from tutorial about Ryan Berry. So I've been showing like how you can learn from Ryan Berry. Is from Mobius, again Ryan Berry. Some about interior drawing. Some cyberpunk studies. Just check out like how they design their hands. It's from tutorial about Omao. It's some Japanese illustrator. Some cyberpunk. Again with experiment with watercolor here. Again it's Ryan Berry. You can watch my series with Ryan Berry studies. It's really cool. Mobius. It's from tutorial how to rotate objects in perspective. It's from my tutorial like how to draw fish eye perspective. This interior tutorial. So also, I have a lot of this video about talking how to draw perspective grids, so you can draw this different angles. You can draw like this fish eye, or even like spherical 6-point perspective. So have this stream with this drawing. This from tutorial how to rotate camera in perspective, I think. Or I know it's like different type of perspective. Some cyberpunk. This is some interesting style I find on X. Also, don't know artist. I forget. Maybe you recognize artist. Write me in a comment. Just some studies and experiments. So you see, I just like draw like completely, like feeling like every space I have. So this one is again they all mostly here is DIY sketchbooks. This sketchbook mostly I dedicate to outdoor sketching, so it's like I experiment with urban sketch in the form of comic book. So I was sitting in a cafe, this Louisa cafe in Taipei, and like imagine if I draw it like some kind of exposition, so it's like it's might be like beginning of comic book or beginning of chapter, and I want to show some scenario kind of, you kind of almost can feel this sounds of a cafe shop here, like how people sit talking, busy something. Here was some conversation with friends. I also experiment with coloring. Here some random page. Here another urban sketch comic book. So like kind of playing around. It's also interesting, like I've been drawing like more than 10 years outdoors in different cities, different environments, and then I find it's sometimes you can do like series of drawings in one space. So you might have like in a movie you can have like big view, and then you can have like detail frames like to show some detail of this environment. Cool. Yeah, thank you, Drove Peel. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I kind of advice for you too. So it's like, you can draw like everybody draws these urban sketches, and you can also try this one, because sometimes maybe you can practice your composing frames, like if you're composing for a comic book. Also, you kind of train your artistic vision, because you like here I was it's a 7-Eleven near my house, so I was just like, okay, I have no idea what to draw there, but I need to draw one page comic book around this place. So I imagine it's kind of like, okay, I draw one frame, I go like to show where I go, so it's kind of, I go to 7-Eleven here, then I go inside 7-Eleven, there's some people, then there's some tables, like it was mother there with children playing some Pokemon stuff. I don't know, this kind of game, arcade, or how it goes. Then I would sit on this table, drink coffee, and draw some like stop with a red light. So here was somebody stop motorcycles and some people crossing zebra, then some truck. Just kind of look how to frame different stuff. And somehow it start even work. It's completely random. It's completely like I trying to figure out what to do in a moment. And you see, you kind of exploring possibilities of a comic book medium, because somehow this comic book medium itself has certain magic inside. Like this theory about empty space between frames. So somehow just having this like gap change everything, because like we are put some meaning in transition between frames. So then it was some around this place here. It's like just what kind of view around this building have. And then again I go to, it's 7-Eleven can see from my window. So I go there, maybe it's me, I don't know, let's say some character there. So he go inside, he buys some drink, then he just, camera start to showing details around, some table. Then I see this table, draw from this table view, then another view, kind of this. I think it's just fun exercise. Same here was about some place. Then this I just kind of make couple pages with just drawing absolutely random daily stuff. Try to compose it as again, it's some kind of detailed shot in a comic book. Just also kind of train my brain to see opportunities of comic book medium, just like how can I use this media. Here I was take elevated metro. We have this like airport metro, so I was just looking around, exploring people, and it's so cool, it's like really look like a movie. So some dude here. Then some restaurant. Here it's like epic story about me going drop trash. So I take trash and go to elevator. Walk basement floor. So it's like exploring comic book medium. It's practice with composition. It's experimenting with materials. So I was trying, you can see like actually I've been trying different, like this was G-pen here, then here was some, no, it's moon fontaine pen, then it was markers, here is like Faber-Castell marker, then again some like a G-pen, again some this frames. Like draw in my hand. So, and it's interesting also like to see how Japan make you really immediately give your drawing quality of manga, because it has a very beautiful line. Here it was some like a view from elevated metro station. It's kind of, I was standing here, look on the left and I can see this stuff. Again, this one like a detailed shot experiment, just whatever I can see, trying to compose it. I put it in my Instagram, and people like, people like even start to put some meaning here, like see some narrative in there. Here's some comic book about going to Costco. Here was comic book about I forget how it's called, like pen. It was like this famous after 7 October. You can push pause and read later. So this about my electric scooter. Slimy Safari and gray ink. This comic book I drew from photographs. It's like how we travel to mountains. We was some like hiking. So we see this like truck with the dogs, some this locations. Again, just like a practice and trying different style, and practice also to draw locations in case if in my comic book I need to draw some scenes, when characters go to nature. So I already have some experience with that. Just explore. Here I was copying Daniel Warren Johnson, but just put some nonsense phrases, some other copies, stuff like that. Then I have this one. It's like huge DIY sketchbook for, it's like my, how to call it, it's like mind flow comic books. So it's like total nonsense. I was just like drawing whatever comes to my head. So it was like kind of exercise for me. I say like, okay, I need every day to draw one spread, to draw 2 pages every day inside the sketchbook. Hello Acoustus. Yeah, I for sure, I mean, not only by Möbius, like there is a lot of artists. Möbius, Katsuhiro Otomo, Masamune Shiro, Tsutomu Nihei, and a lot of more. Like I'm making videos about artists who I study from. You can check out these videos in my channel. Like I'm making also kind of demonstration of how I study from them. Yeah, I have sketchbook. Yeah, I think I have earlier 2013. We'll show you later. So, in this kind of comic book, I even don't use pencil here. So, like, I open sketchbook kind of, and I see like, oh, I have no idea what to draw about. So I just like start to draw in random stuff and creating story in the process. And characters, story just appear from nowhere. There's some kind of magic. I don't know like how it works. It's really like you just start to see. It's like, so I even here's guy like he talking with a shadow, some kind of like Carl Jung stuff. Like, so this one kind of. So just playing around just trying to, like, explore my spark, explore kind of like what, how can I just enjoy it mindlessly without like having a plan, without making like being like too serious about it. Just like in a childhood when I was sitting drawing stuff without any concern and pressure. So I just look, because here, like I say, it's just totally it's totally free drawing. So here a lot of like obscene language. So I just choose something I can show on YouTube. Так, what's there else? Oh, here for example, is also interesting example. Like here was page. Like I said, like okay, I need to draw kind of characters. Something need to happen. So whatever, I just start to draw somebody and kind of like see what they can do, try to put them in some situation, and it's crazy, like it's really something start to happen, like I'm being witness of some universe, and these characters, they feel like most alive I can ever do. Like if I will try to create like characters, I cannot do it so well like this happened here without any effort. They just came up from nowhere, and now I have like two characters. So like absolutely, like it's kind of like they're being developed, or they have some kind of background story, But no, it's just like right here I start to draw it, and here I have these two characters. So here was questions about like how many time I need to draw page. It's all is this all not important questions. Like I mean, don't even ask yourself this kind of question. It's not important. Absolutely irrelevant kind of. Like, and also if like about how many draw every day. Ideally, just draw like 8 hour, or at least 5 hour every day. It's like your job. If you want to be professional artist, so consider it like you will draw like about 8 hour, sometimes 10 hour in a day, and your hand don't pain at all if you don't have like some awkward, like if you draw your hand like this, of course you will have problem, but it should be fine. Only, of course, like every profession, no matter what kind of profession you work, you need to do some physical exercise. Go to some like boxing or fitness, run in the morning, or do any exercise, because if you don't make exercise, if you don't move your body, you don't move your limbs, you will have a professional deformation, no matter what kind of profession you have. If you not exercise, you will have physical deformation, which is not healthy for sure. So yeah, if you're artist, you sit a lot, you can have some kind of stiffen your muscle, so you need to run, you need to do some exercises, otherwise it will be not healthy for sure. So here you see this guys get in a brawl, like fight with some big guy. So, and he kind of like this I was find from Fyodor Yemelyanenko. He was fighting with a huge Korean guy. It's MMA, or it was Pride, I forget exactly. So he did this, I don't know how this kind of submission calls. he break or almost break his hand, but definitely you can break hand like this. So I just did here, put some realism kind of in a story. Yeah, so it's a lot of here, but I cannot show all, unfortunately, because on YouTube, and yeah, I don't know, don't want to don't want to scare people too much. Yeah, so here is just some, again, DIY. I just took some paper cuts and I say, okay, I don't want to waste this paper, so I made a sketchbook. And I say like, okay, this sketchbook will be, I will just draw different heads. Here again, it's like heads from Spider-Man animation 19, and then just random. Sometimes it's just from imagination, random heads. Again, you know, try this practice. This is what I did here a lot. Sometimes I copy, but sometimes I just was drawing random heads and trying to draw something I didn't draw before. So, you know, just like take this ink and like without pencil anything, and just like, oh, I want to draw face, like some emotion or like character I didn't draw before, so I will not repeat myself, but also like some try maybe new type of character. And I also can see, like, show my brain, show my hand, I can draw different characters. Oh, here I was study some Trump. Here is like, look, very intimidating face here, like, yeah, it's like Sigma Trump. So, and here, and I was try gray wash, so it's like it's a gray watercolor, so I take some gray watercolor to make gray washes. You see, it's kind of very interesting. It can make look like a Copic marker. I was like, wow, can make very soft gray washes without Copic. So just random faces. And you see, like, what is also about line art style, you learn how to economy your lines. So how you can do, like, how many you can draw, how many you can show with a few lines. Because in some, like, comic book or animation especially, is super essential, because you need to draw fast, and you draw fast by making less lines. You don't have time for cross-hatching, you don't have time for all this like noodles, you know. So it should be like more like economy, and it's kind of actually much more clever work. It's some kind of shape intellect you need to develop in yourself. Like we can definitely can say, like, we can see like some artists, they like very clever, very smart, like with the shapes, and the other artists, they like doing something like I did here, just like kind of no shape, almost no shape, is some kind of vogue, unclear. So try to practice to make some kind of impressions and shapes with a few lines. It's just you became kind of smarter as an artist, more clever. You can use, like, you became very efficient, kind of, right? Do I have favorite Facebook or sketchbook page? I don't know, like I have, because you know I draw so many, I even forget what I draw, and like something I like, something I don't know. Sketchbook is more, you draw a lot of this and you forget it, you know, like you don't remember all of this stuff, you don't keep it all in your mind, you have a lot of other stuff to do. I more like remember my illustrations and urban sketch because it's a very kind of personal work, and like I have a lot of memory with that. But still, I cannot say like which one is my favorite illustration or my favorite urban sketch, because I love most of them. They just most of them is I love them kind of. Here some experiments. Here was some also copy some stuff. This was study some photograph. Here is like I was thinking about, oh, this one guy, one elf from my comic book, like how he will look in the future. So here he's kind of like grown up, matured, and became some kind of badass warrior, lose his eye somewhere in a battle. And this kind of, you need to watch this with the Manowar music, you know, so super epic kind of super epic stuff. Here's obviously from Akira. Here is just some from internet, from some Pinterest reference. So different notes. I hope will be awesome. Here, so it's like from Masamune Shiro, Ghost in the Shell. See, I like, so here I've been like trying to completely copy this page, and yeah, and I was only use here this gray ink wash. Here again some figures. It's funny this find this emotion somewhere. Also made this studies like of planes on a figure a lot. And this kind of thing is so frustrating when you study anatomy and figure drawings, because you know, like in anywhere, anything, if you don't draw it every day, like characters, like Chinese characters, like so freaking annoying. It's like you need to study Chinese characters like 3 hours every day, otherwise you will forget it all, because if you're not if you're not using it, you will forget it for sure. So same like for us, right? Like we need to learn perspective, we need to learn anatomy, vehicles, firearms, environments, urban environments, nature environments, so many stuff like wrinkles, all the stuff you need to learn. So, and for me, like I keep learning anatomy, and I keep forgetting it. I keep relearning it, kind of recalling it. And what I can say for sure, it's very slow, but you improve anyway. So it's just this thing about learning process. Every beginner, they kind of have this perfect expectation when they wish they learn everything from first attempt. It's the first disappointment waiting you there, like, you know, this kind of always have been meme like around the corner, which will say, you know, no, you most of cases you never learn from first attempt. Most of cases you learn, you think you understand, you think you remember, and then you forget and you need to learn it again, and then you do it like sometimes you do it like 100 times, you know. So you just be ready for this process of relearning. And this you need to realize that this is actual process of learning. This actual process of learning includes a lot of relearning, repeating, re-studying, rereading. You read this book, you practice once is nothing. You will need like twice, 100 times. And you can do it like from beginning, That's why I talk about repetition. You can do it from beginning, like make some kind of like a schedule, so you draw like every day, like repeat something you already know how to do, right? But you keep repeating it for a couple more days, for a couple more weeks, repeating it, maybe experimenting with it, like try it with a little different situation, like tweak it somehow, like try different materials, rotate it some little bit. Cool. Yeah, thank you, Augustus. Yeah, I'm glad I inspire you. So realize it, be okay with that, be ready for this. So because we all the time, you learn, you forget. Here's my illustration about October 7 in Israel. Crazy. So, and you learn it, you think you remember it, and then you will forget it, like not completely. And this is the key. You not forget completely. You just you will kind of discover you're not so good as you think you are. So you need to improve and relearn it. So here you see a lot of stuff. So I find this drawing somewhere, I forget where, and I see like, wow, I wish I can draw like this. So I copy it, so at least I have some experience, some practice of drawing like this immediately, and then, okay, now I can draw something like this for sure. Just no big deal. Like I will not maybe able like recreate it 100%, and I don't need. I need to draw my own kind of stuff, right? Here I was studying Möbius, how he draw waves, this like foam, this splashes in a wave. Here some from somebody I was find also saying like, oh, I want to copy, see how he draw. This Masamune Shiro. It's also from my video tutorials about how to draw like Masamune Shiro. So I make like very detailed breakdown explaining like how you can draw like Masamune Shiro, because I'm not sure exactly what Masamune Shiro think. Like I cannot find precise information where he explain like all details, like what exactly he do and what exactly he think. But here is a lot of stuff is just common for this medium, common for this type of work, because he also learned from other illustrators. It's a lot of influence of Möbius and all this other artists. Here also from tutorial about Kim Jong-gi. I have on a channel some videos about Kim Jong-gi. Here some experiments, some studies and experiments. Also obviously some Kim Jong-gi and some random stuff. So don't ask like yourself or like how many you should draw. You should draw like you breathe, You don't ask like how many inhales I do, how many exhales I do. You just should draw so many that you cannot tell how long, how many times you actually draw. So here again you see like I don't know where I find this, like maybe it even was photo or it's somebody illustration, but I love this. You see, it's so cool. you can steal it, you know. Just draw it in your comic book, in your illustration, just make it your way, make it your own car. You can put some character here. Maybe there is some character like with this like Uzi or some guns in the hands, like screaming, like popping out from window. Yeah, it's a very cool, smart work, smart line art. See like how he work with the patterns here, like this. Because this is like array of patterns. Again, you see it's like kind of trick how artists combine abstraction with a narrative and imitation of actual objects, actual reality. Because yeah, we can read this like lamps, reflection of lamps, this kind of water splashes, it's water here, and there is car. But at the same time, each of it's individual pattern, which is on itself looks cool as pattern, just as 2D form. Yeah, same here with somebody illustration. I'm not sure who. I would just like how he do this smoke with a line art. Some Möbius, Atomo. Here I was like how he's this artist again. You see like economy of line and smart shapes. So he just draw feet, hand, and head, and the body makes just like total abstraction in how much it's totally different poses, totally different gestures, but you don't draw body, you don't draw legs and torso, you just draw some kind of blob, some kind of abstract bird, what's this, and connect to it some hands, legs, hands, feet, and head, and it works. Our brain read it as a figure, so this is super smart. What else? Here, skip. Some sketchbook. Here was some tricopic markers. I realize like this worse paper for Copic markers because they just absorb ink too fast. Here is like from Bullet, Joshua Bullet, my subscriber in Instagram, also artist drawing comic books. Can look for his work. He sent me some stickers. It was very nice. Так. So here's some random stuff. Some experiments with color. So here I was just experimenting on don't use too many color, just cool and warm. So blue and orange is a very popular kind of colors, you know, it's just like two colors, you can do a lot of stuff. Here was tutorial about drawing spiral in perspective. You can also watch this tutorial on my channel. Here I find somewhere this tutorial very interesting about how you can draw different faces. So this kind of things is really useful because you have structure, and you can play with variables. So you see, like when you here's this like line between points here and here, and this kind of, they call it muzzle, mouse and nose. So you can do different kind of nose and mouse together, so it will be different type of face. Again, it's from tutorial about drawing spiral in perspective. It's also kind of this from Shanghai. It's a real place in Shanghai. Looks like crazy cyberpunk. It's also for some of my videos on YouTube. Here was drawing our art, like copying artist, and make video about this, like talking about how he draw. And this one too. Some French artists. There's some characters. So this again is kind of type of sketchbook when I do one thing. So only draw characters. This I was drawing myself, kind of in a different time periods. So it's like I can see it's different year, when I was 2014, when I was art student in art college. Then 2008 I was like travel artist already in 2008. 2013 me in Shanghai. Then 2013 in Paris. I didn't know, like in the autumn it's so cold in Paris. I thought it's kind of hot. Very freezing. Then 2014 Guangzhou in China. Then 14 in Hong Kong. Shunde 2015. Shenzhen 2015. Dezhou, Vietnam, Taiwan. This kind of my style now. So here I made this kind of like afterwards. After this comic book I draw, I show you. I think like, okay, I can draw some characters of this, design of this character. So I did some research of what kind of clothes they might have, and these two guys, like I say, like after action, after this story I already draw, I realize who they are, what kind of behaviors they have, what kind of traits their character have. So this guy, he's kind of like very kind of melancholic, like he very quiet, like I don't know, peaceful on appearance. And this his friend, he's opposite. He's very cocky, kind of. He very extrovert and like a punk, right? So he's like against authorities, against rules, but in an action situation, like I show you, you can look before I show this comic book, when things go bad, this guy, he appears to be like badass. He's like crazy, he's like insane dude. And this dude became like, in a very crazy scenario, he's more like a normal person. So he's just like little showing off. But no, he also badass, he can fight, he eventually fight, like beat this huge guy. But this guy, he's like really badass, and he don't show it because maybe he embarrassed by it. Maybe he, because like, yeah, in his temperament, he think is something you better don't show to other people, because you don't want to scare people, you know. So it's kind of very interesting. It's just like I say, I never write their bio, I never develop these characters. They just appear in my comic book, and then I just look at them and I try to understand who they are. So, and then I was look and find some clothes for them, what kind of clothes they might have, like even choose fabric, like what kind of fabric they might wear. Then again, some like Spider-Man animation. There was some tutorials about characters drawing, an experiment with coloring. So sometimes I copy other artists, sometimes I draw from photograph. Point here was just practice drawing characters and get some more experience with drawing different characters. And sometimes I draw from imagination. It's just all kind of mix here. And so you see, like drawing characters, it's like I have one clear limit for this sketchbook, like full figure characters. So only them, no background, nothing more, but any material. So I was trying different material just to see which I like more, which work better for me, which I prefer, try different techniques like watercolor, ink, how many ink, how many watercolor, just experiment with this. Sometimes have pencil, sometimes no pencil, like here a lot of characters, no pencil, just ink. So like when people ask like how many you draw and stuff, like how you choose material. You choose material like this. You take some material and you draw couple hundred drawings with this material. So then you know how it feels for you, and like do you like it, or when you like to use this material. So here I was trying to see, like, let's say, like with this watercoloring style, it's very much like Katsuhiro Otomo or Jimenez. So I will do tutorials about also like how to make color like Katsuhiro Otomo, how to make color like Jimenez. Here some different types. Oh, some cyberpunk. So I'll find something like this. Also, like you can make sheets with the character on a different level of like how many clothes he take on, or like different kind of clothes. It's easier, of course, to do in the digital. Like when you make like in the digital, you make like nude model, and then you put different clothes or different layers of clothing. Oh, this you can recognize Ethan Baker. So it's kind of look how he make his shapes. So trying to See, very interesting how he makes this, like sometimes as this like cut lines and then like very busy bulky round lines. No, he like very smart with shapes, so very nice, very cool to watch. Some turnarounds, some this stuff, don't know where I find it. So same trying here like with the skin tones, so I was fine like okay, can use like these colors for skin tones. This, yeah. Then I have sketchbook. It's like drawing martial arts. At first I was, this kind of interesting, is some book actually, some politician, it's like Taipei mayor, he was trying to be like elected as Taiwan president, I think, so he makes this book about himself. It's like, what? Are you serious? So many pages about yourself? You must be like greatest person in the world. So and saying like you are what you do, and now he's like in a court about corruption. It's very interesting irony. So I was just saying like I don't want to waste this paper. It's so amazing paper, perfect for make some ink sketches. So at first I dedicate this book for just make or whatever like black shapes studies. So you know, like when you have this only white and black, this kind of white black shapes without pencil, without anything. But then I say like, okay, I also like actually make it three shades, like white, black and gray. So we have black ink, gray ink wash, and sometimes I use this like white this white thing, like pentel white corrector. So and just exploring it, playing around, see some kind of, you know, like a Daniel Warren Johnson style. Here's some photographs of Taiwan in the night. It's like, it's really interesting how much you can do with so abstract shapes, and it's like really you can practice work with these grays and blacks to create atmosphere. Here's Hong Kong. I did some like rain Hong Kong. It looks so cyberpunk with this technique. And then I start to make it like martial arts. So I have a lot of photographs like from different like grappling, wrestling, because they're so interesting, like gestures. It's like very dynamic and very like interesting compositions. Here are some Daniel Warren studies. Here again some. See again like black, gray and white. Again some Daniel Warren, some hands, again some grappling. It's also like you can see like if you want to use this for comic books, like you make some like, or not only comic books, maybe like animation, fighting scene, and there is so many repetitions there, but you can find very interesting original gestures. some like this, you know, they're crazy dynamic. So like I use in my comic book about elves, where there's this guy fighting like this. Submissions, different kind of submissions and drops. And here again some Taiwan night scenes. Also kind of trying to deliver this like dynamic, kind of this flow movement. Some BJJ. It's just so cool, so crazy. Like you will never take it from your imagination. Like this, kind of my favorite. If say like favorite sketchbook pages, something like this, you know. It's kind of very light, not much lines, it's not stiff, but so dynamic. It's this kind of, it's crazy. It looks so dangerous. Like if do this stuff in the street, can kill. It's so crazy. Female jiu-jitsu. Or this one, so cool. I like also this kind of compositions, you know, where is like moment between. It's like a frozen moment. It's dynamic and same time it's like frozen in a moment. Or like this one, right? It's like where like any moment like this will happen, it's just time stop kind of. Well, I forget so many drawings here, and this one looks so cool. It's so like a hieroglyph. So crazy. It's just like, what is that? What has happened here? I like this one. So cool. Again, it's like abstraction mixed with realism. Then it looks so interesting. Because it's like mosaic and figure drawings and at the same time. Like this one, also so cool. So still about half. Need to draw more. So when I have this kind of theme sketchbook like dedicated to some subject, when I have time, when I feel in the mood, I just take it and keep drawing more. So they kind of like inspire and motivate me to draw more in this subject. Then I have this kind of sketchbooks. It's not DIY, it's a Balhon watercolor sketchbook. So this I've been used for urban sketch. So here's some watercolors and ink. So for many years I was doing watercolor just like this, very light. Here's some panoramic view. It was drawn from IKEA window. So here's some from cafe. It's from parking underground. Metro station. It's this sketchbook is all from my area, from my district in Taiwan. So we have these parks, cafe. We have this very cool metro station with elevated metro. You see, so I have like I showed before already some drawings from this metro. Also have this museum, art museum. Here another view from cinema. So again you can see this metro station, this elevated metro moving there. Hello Blondie, yeah, thank you. Yeah, yeah, because I mostly did sketch, urban sketch for most of time. I enjoy urban sketch too, but it's kind of hard to sell. I'm horrible seller, you know, so need to more diverse. So that's why I also do murals, and I also now start to do these tutorials to kind of making more opportunities and possibilities for future. So because like I do recently this year I did a book about how to draw motorcycle. And when I start to look, it's half done already. But when I start to look for publisher tell me like I need to be more popular because they want some guarantee they can sell this book. So I need to have some audience, you know, some people who like my work, want to buy my books, stuff like that. So that's why I kind of start to more work on YouTube, just bring more awareness and also kind of create some like brand of educator, you know. So otherwise I will just continue walking around and drawing urban sketch. I enjoy it most for sure. Now for me it's like very easy and very recreational, kind of just go somewhere, make some sketches. But actually in one more thing, I actually want to make comic books, so I also kind of work on be more more intelligent, more kind of say like for being like comic book artist in style I want to draw. I need to have like much stronger vehicle drawings, like characters drawings. So I did a lot of work on this recently. And this also kind of improving my urban sketches too. Because like, you know, when you're strengthen your essentials, strengthen your foundation, it's make all your art make better. So, and I like this thing, like I don't want to have this kind of average urban sketch. I want to have like crazy urban sketch, you know, to blow people's minds. They look at them, it's like, what's that? So many details, it's crazy. So not only details, but it's just like, it's so so complex, so advanced, kind of high level work. So yeah, some different urban sketches. Here I was like stuck in a train, like so many people, and I just, everybody look on the phone, and I drew people look on the phone. Oh, cool. Thank you, Blondie. Yeah. Yeah, in the Gumroad I have tutorials, so everybody who want to buy, like, can check out my Gumroad. There have like how to draw urban sketch. Like, at least go to watch my urban sketch Gumroads, because they're very specific and unique material. You will not find anything like this. Because like I share my 20-year experience. And this was some like I have tutorial on YouTube talking about this drawing, and then it was some demonstration of watercolor. I also have watercolor tutorial on my Gumroad. So go check out my Gumroad. It's Hong Kong. Here again some, this is not urban sketch. It will be hard to draw something like this when you jump between buildings. Так. So this from metro, from this elevated metro I showed before. I did a lot of sketches there of people. Some stuff. These sketchbooks very nice actually, and I like use them for wide angle sketches. So you can do wide angle, or sometimes you can just use half, just only one page. So sometimes can be wide angle like this, or sometimes like only one page. Another sketchbook, let's check it out. So yeah, again, for example, like this wide angle, so we have horizon line, we have vanishing points here, so it's like Z vanishing point in the front and in the back, so it's like Z axis, Z lines from front going to back, so it's almost like, yeah, kind of, no, almost 360 degree, about 300 angle. It's Taoyuan Airport in Taiwan. Here was my friend artist arrived to Taiwan. Here's some sketch in the bus. Here I did this, it's no, I don't write this. You know, it's like sumo arena, because it was Japanese occupation in Taiwan, so they leave a lot of Japanese architecture. And look, I love Japanese architecture, it's so cool. And here was this park with sumo arena, and I just drew some sumo guys inside, and watch some YouTube about debates, how to debate, and make notes. So I think like, oh, it's funny, kind of like sumo and how to debate, this kind of stuff. So it's funny. Taiwan bus. And this kind of funny thing about Taiwan is a lot of kawaii kind of art, I don't know how it's called, like kawaii culture here in Taiwan. It's very funny, all this, you know. This was Dashi Dashi, like summer festival, a lot of music, costumes. I have book Dashi, and there have like these sketches, and I talk a lot about this festival. And Dashi, it's a town in Taiwan. Here drawing from Louisa Cafe again. It's like second floor. Again, some my wife in a car. Here's some Apple store. It's my friend, this artist Donald Colley. He's like very cool urban sketcher. He like drew figures amazing. Like he drew a lot of like with the color markers. It's like Faber-Castell markers. You can Google Donald Colley. Here's a baseball stadium. Also in my district we have baseball stadium. I don't understand the rules, but no, I understand in baseball, like you need to punch ball, kind of. This I understand. But I really like atmosphere, you know. It's really like everybody happy. It's like a lot of joy, and family there, like family holidays. This is Kaohsiung. It's south side of Taiwan. It's like on the bottom of Taiwan. Okay, it's like some Dashi festival. They have this huge drum, you know, it's like dum 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 dum. Very cool. Some again like this comic book stuff. Then on this Dashi festival they have this like their altar with the god from their temple, so they kind of carry him around from one temple to other temple. It's kind of long story about this. So it's a Starbucks, urban sketch, bus, urban sketch, hotel, again in the car. Here's some crazy wide angle, and this Dao temple in Taiwan, so you can see this like in yen. So, cafe I've been drawing with Donald Colley again because he was visit on Dachi and we drew around together. You also like welcome to Taiwan. You arrive to Taiwan, we go to draw some stuff. A very beautiful country. Very beautiful, people very nice, very clean. Here's some train, it's like tram, city train. Here again we can sit in some cafe and draw some wide angle. So this kind of sketchbooks, they're perfect for such wide angle drawings. This I was in a 7-Eleven, again same kind of wide angle. You see this X vanishing point on the left and this X vanishing point on the right, and this is Z vanishing point in the front. So you just like, and the y-axis it's vertical here, just vertical lines. Here's some random drawings in the train. So I just sit in the train and draw whatever I see around me, and again make this like a frames from comic book. So kind of a lot of sketchbooks. Just don't know. Let's show some more. So here's some sketchbook. Purpose nothing there. Kind of forbidden on YouTube. So there's some dudes I've been designed for my comic book. It's I know this guy, he's a real person. So, and here experiment with line art, kind of copy some different stuff I find. This some photograph, somebody, this interesting shapes, then it's like flying DeLorean. Here's just like from tutorial I do on I think it's an Gumroad perspective tutorial. You can watch. Oh, this is very funny. This shoes. So it's kind of 360 perspective. So you can see like all there's some copies from somewhere, forget where. This is very cool. I like how shape design, very nice, and hands. There's some Möbius here, Möbius train. This Taiwan metro is in Taipei, so it's kind of like this kind of time. It's winter, so winter in Taiwan is like autumn for me. It's still cold, but it's not freezing. Oh, and I like this kind of, I draw it from some Spider-Man comic book from 80s or 90s, from 90s maybe. It's like very narrow frames. I really love it, so interesting. Some muscle studies. Some Terada. And this urban sketch, just random stuff. I like to play with reflections. Here I was also make kind of demonstration on my workshop about this narrative and patterns. You see, like there is objects which like you can recognize. And these objects have a verbal meaning, verbal name, like labels, right? So you can say, oh, this is like road sign, this a mirror, this like kind of this metal ribbed surface. Then we have person, ground, roof, windows. All this can be named, right? So it's not useless lines here. Everything represents something here. So when you doing this, you make your work clear. It's like making clear work without nonsense lines. So every line, every shape stands for some actual object, and in same time every shape it's abstract pattern. So we have like this, it work like abstract pattern, like you see like rhythms, right? Like dun 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 dun. It has this like angular shapes. Then we have this one here, it's like do do do. The kind of like you're creating composition like music composition when you have this like rhythms, melodies, and sometimes it's very short, sometimes they're more long, sometimes they're like, you know, light, sometimes they're dark, sometimes they're gray, and you create this variety, you create this like dynamism and like vivid energy in your work by playing with these patterns. So yeah, a lot of this is copy from some different artists studies kind of. This I from photograph I've been like drawn again. You see it's clear image, like we can see it's about roads, cars, and some trees here, right? So everything have a meaning, and at the same time everything have abstract quality. Everything here play its role in the composition, like a sound in a music composition, right? So you cannot put like a random sound in your song, right? It will be weird, like it will be like a noise. Same in your drawing, like every line, every mark should be like considered as an element of composition. So here I was like drawing, look in the window, and I was just like practice how to draw, like again like very economy lines. Don't make too much lines, make it as simple as possible, but also kind of realistic, so you can read like a volume. It looks like it's actual vehicle, you know. And also try to draw them quick, because they're sometimes they stop on a red light, sometimes they parking, sometimes they just passing by, and you need to capture it very quick. So just been practice drawing it from window. Here again some copy art, and this like from, I forget also artists. He have very cool comic book you can find on Amazon about Bukowski. But is, you know, there is Bukowski writer, and here he make a comic book about Bukowski, like homage to writer. But here is this like poet Bukowski, and this comic book is amazing, and it's so amazing, like how many, like very smart, very funny, and style also kind of very simple, but it work perfectly. Here some Möbius, some other artists, I don't remember who. Just practice with the stuff, like special effects. And here you see again abstraction, right? So cool, kind of epic shapes here. These like angular forms behind, and then we have here this curve. You see, so it's like abstract composition, like a Malevich or Kandinsky, this kind of stuff. You just like turn the switch, you forget, like imagine like you have no idea what is this, you don't know is this person or what is this, you just look at it as an abstract composition. And as artists we should be able to do this. We can like switch, we have this couple switches like color, proportions, perspective, anatomy, abstract composition. And in any moment you can turn the switch and look only solely on this aspect of work. And also you need to be able to look of all aspects together in the same time and balance them, organize them together. This is actual work what you should do. So like imagine like this one. Imagine like we see sometimes artists, especially urban sketchers, who will take this kind of subject and draw it without proper perspective. This will be ridiculous. It's just like you cannot. It's a sin. It's a sin to draw such view without making perfect perspective, because it's a beauty of this kind of drawings. Beauty is this alignment of a structure and shapes, structure and like freehand kind of dynamic forms, kind of, right? If you only make some dynamic doodle without solid concrete structure, it will just look ridiculous. It just look like kind of, I don't know, it's just blasphemous to do such stuff. So, and then you realize actually every work should be like this. Actually every work is like this marriage of structure, of free form, abstraction, and a narrative. So then you will have like nothing is a waste. Everything should be for a reason. Everything should be for a reason. If you don't know what to draw, just leave empty space, or make like a black kind of space, so it's like nothing there. So you see, I was also like, don't know what this is, where I find it, but I like kind of pattern. It's kind of how's it called, some kind of sacred geometry stuff, And here I like this, how simple shapes but so much character in them. This kind of stuff. So just notice, right, like how much every time it's an abstract composition together with realism, structure, and narrative. Every time, always. Here's some Möbius, and my Gumroad tutorial was talking about perspective. Here's some very cool artists I found on the X. Forget his name, because I didn't draw it for publishing or showing anyone. I just showing you now like my sketchbooks kind of. I draw for myself, and it's just my own practice. In most of these drawings, it's just my own practice. I just see some empty page and just make some drawings there, like something I want to improve, something I want to get more experience. And some pages like this, it's from my tutorials or from videos. This one, like for example, is just study. I draw for myself, don't show anyone. So also keep it in mind, because sometimes you see like people like considering drawing like it's always for a show. Like, oh, like if you take a pencil to draw on a paper, you do it because you want to show it someone. No, not necessary. Sometimes you do it just for art kind of, or for education, or for having a good time. There's so many reasons you can do it, not only to exhibit or show other people. So also I think it was some video you can find on my YouTube about perspective. Here also some, just find some drawings somewhere for copy. Here I have video on YouTube. Ayn Rand. And here was just like this, just exploring profile, like I told before, this kind of drawing when I was just experimenting and see what kind of different faces I can draw from my head right now. Just try to do something like this. Maybe you do for all page. I have sometimes like all page, trying to draw like many different faces and like this kind of simple style. And it's very interesting just to see how much variety kind of you can pull out from your head in the moment. Like how many nose types, how many eyes or hair styles you can remember, you can draw. And this, like, find some photo somewhere. It should be red color, but for some reason I didn't have red color. So funny. So it's like a Russian language say stop. Very symbolic. Stop, red light. Crazy. It's kind of really look like Russia, like a symbol. So this different. It's like up to Tomunihi Apazims. I really like this manga. It's very interesting style he have in Apazims. It's like super line economy. He makes so many like empty spaces and empty space even like between lines, so he has this kind of broken line. Very interesting. Yeah, you can find this comic book called Fante Bukowski. Yeah, it's again I was draw from it because it's like how simple and clever compositions he have, and the story very funny. Fante Bukowski, find on Amazon. Very cool. Here again was some tutorial about stairs. I think I have on my YouTube, you can find I have a lot tutorials about how to draw stairs in many different perspectives, in a very complicated perspective. So we need to have this skill to control and work, operate with these levels I'm talking about, right? So you have some ideas you can talk, you can show. So it's like, what do you show, right? Then you have your ability to make it in a proper perspective, so it will be like realistic space, realistic form in a space, and this realistic form to whatever object you want to draw, like clothes, figures, character, animals, any kind of object from real life. And third aspect, you need to kind of understand and have already this kind of feeling and intuition from your practice and experience, how to make like abstract shapes, because these abstract shapes is how you create emotional tone, how you create movement, how you create all this subconscious impact on a viewer. This is about abstraction. Is in this abstraction, like here is about lines, but it's not always about lines. It's also about shading. It's like this like light and dark values, like here for example. Having this like light and gray is also abstract composition, because you know, like in a framed ink book, Matthias Maestre, he talking about this, he talking about like different tone create different mood. So here's like a very light kind of maybe inspiring or kind of, you know, like adventure light kind of atmosphere. If you make here like mostly will be black and like only little bright colors, it will feel like noir, like a horror or like some brutal kind of atmosphere. So abstract composition, it's all this kind of non-verbal quality of your work, non-verbal, and it's not realistic. It's just quality of material itself, quality of what ink you use, what color you use, what paper you use, what texture, what pattern. Abstraction, it's about kind of material and like art form itself. Even these stairs here, you see, it's like a song, it's like a poem. It has this like movement, and you should to kind of learn to feel it, enjoy it, and make it kind of, you know, to make this kind of like phrases, like it's kind of beauty in this stuff. It's like when you put this all stuff together, meaning, abstraction, and realism. Here it was my homage to Dragon Ball artist Akira Toriyama. Yeah, just, and here again apothemes from Tsutomu Nihei. So Tsutomu Nihei is like my top favorite environment artist. Like he creates this amazing environments, and you see how he play with the patterns. He's like super clever guy. This kind of stuff. So let's find some old sketchbook, some from before 2013. Where's my phone? Yes, I have 2013 actually. I have this from 2013 sketchbook. And then maybe I can find earlier. I have my comic book from, I don't know, it's like 2000. No, it's like even like 1990 something. It's like super old. I even have this kind of like stickers. I've been drawing a childhood comic book. Так. 2013 before. Okay, yeah, I find it. Okay, yeah, I have this like 2012 or 2011. So you kind of can see how bad I drew before. So this like 2011. Let me check if there was nothing like bad. So it's nothing for YouTube. Okay, here I have some pages when I was practicing train my left hand. So been like writing with my left hand, and then I made this like straight lines. It's again this example, you know, like now I can draw with both hands, But in 2011 it was impossible. It was very hard. So I was practice drawing with my left hand, just drawing straight lines, just to develop this muscle memory. Then here some my sketches, drawing different people. Here I was in the Moscow, and some dude, like, he just came out from prison. He approaching me, so like, hey man, cool, you're artist. Say, yeah, I'm artist. Like, hey, I just came out from prison. Can you draw me? Like, standing near this like a cathedral, and he said, draw me with the cathedral behind. And I say, okay. Some funny like Russian stories. Then we was go to country house with some friends, like drinking tea there. So I find some opportunity as always to draw some friend, female model. Then draw some other friends. Here's some porch, some live sketch. I see a lot of this left hand practice. It looks weird. This I have this idea, like maybe I seen it in a dream, like a clock on a wall, and the room is filled with water, so clock is like in a half underwater. Maybe you can use it in a comic book. So then this sketch for my friends. It's like a Moscow metro. Here I met some African acrobats. They're like from Kenya, and I met them in Moscow. So then here in a metro train, and here somebody take dog and somebody take cat, and they kind of looking at each other, very funny. Here there was like some studies of some, I don't know, just find some random stuff. Some from real life sketches. It was some dude's apartment, a very crazy apartment. You can see somebody legs, a lot of stuff everywhere. And this thing, if you know, you know what is this. So you can see it's like rock and roll apartment here. And this, okay, this you see my urban sketch level at that time. So I drew this view from their house window, and this like in kind of amazing roads in Moscow. They have this like huge roads, and the car flow never stop. I was first time see it in my life. It's like crazy. It looks like urban river, you know, like kind of this cyberpunk river, because these cars, they constantly moving 24 hours, like just always like non-stop flow of cars. They can only like slow down in the night when it's like traffic jam, when people going from work. Here I was trying to develop some character, some like, oh, it looks so much like this Helldivers style. Here was some concept art. So I've been like drawing this like a 0.5 pencil. You know, this kind of 0.5 mechanical pencil. So I see so many this left hand practice. I really spend a lot of time for this. Still not sure there was reason for it or not. And if you have friends like who, like neurobiologist or somebody who know about ambidextrous, left hand, right hand. Let them know I would like to talk about left and right hand. Maybe can make stream about this, because I spend a lot of time to experimenting with this, like a drawing and writing. And then it's interesting, like talk with somebody like scientist who can really talk some details about how this works, because I have idea about. No, it's definitely different when you draw with the left or right hand. It's very different. So I just want to get some more theory from professional, but I don't know where to find. Not much information. Some more concept arts of some stuff. Some you see. So it was 2011 kind of, when I was still there. I draw in this stuff, legs and all this anatomy, and I still draw in this stuff. Well, now I kind of better remember it, but still I'm kind of struggling with anatomy. So also talking about going to art college. I'm from a small provincial town, and I quit my art college because I don't like my community. It's like my classmates are very lazy kind of environment, like was kind of weird. I don't like it, so it was one of reason why I quit. And then, like when I was couple years after in Moscow, I just met different art students, and they invite me to their art university. So it's like if I try to go to study there, it will take a lot of time and money just to get in, because you need to make some preparations, you need to pass exam, so you need to rent some house not far from university. It's very complicated. So, but it was no problem just to go inside for some studios and draw together with the students. They just tell me, because they see I'm serious. I'm not some lazy punk who will just distract everyone, like talking nonsense and like drink beer and like kind of stuff. No, I was just like very serious. So oh yeah, it's super rarity. This one is Gibra. If you know a French artist, Gibra, he drew my portrait. So he was in Moscow and he drew my portrait. That's crazy. I was drawing his portrait and he drew mine. It's still in here in the sketchbook. You can Google who is Gibra. Так. Here's some concept arts. I was thinking about making table game. Have some concepts, but didn't finish it. So there's a lot of different. So you can see line quality wasn't so well. It was very stiff, like kind of this example of like maybe you can do realism, but much less creative decisions, much less understanding of shapes, understanding of like what I'm talking about, like narrative, abstract, and perspective. So instead of making this kind of clear decisions like artistic choices, I was mostly just copying from real life or from reference and drawing something not very clear kind of work designs. So still there with it. Oh, some barber shop. Interesting. Some study shoes. Urban Sketch. This one already like 2012, I think. And here, yeah, here you can see I've been drawing in a car with the left hand. So some evidence of me drawing by left hand. Here I've been studying watch some tutorials about construction of trees. I see like this kind of fractal structure, different kind of leaves, how they like placed, how they like growing, all this stuff. Very interesting. I like kind of this imagine like you're kind of scientist in 19th century, you travel somewhere in the islands and make sketches of new species you find. Like you make your drawing as like scientific exploration. Oh, I have some postcards here. So it's my watercolor from Moscow. Also, this is my comic book from, I even don't know, like 90s something. I did like comic books about Teenage Turtles. So it's like from Soviet Union, this thing. This is crazy. It's like, I don't know how old I was, like 8-year-old maybe. So there was already Simpsons. So, and there I was fighting with my brother, and he like tear it in the half. So you're freaking comic books. And I had a lot of comic books in my childhood, like I draw like Star Wars, Jurassic Park a lot. Thank you, Blondina. So and then I didn't know anything about technology, like how artists draw comic books. So I was just like drawing and imagine story in the process, just creating a story while making it. And then I was abandoning it at some point. Some Simpsons, Alien, Predator. And this in 2013 I've been like work with my friend on comic book. So I was like kind of thinking about concepts. Here's some. So this like this guy, it's he is I don't know, like a Russia mafia, you know. So he have like I was researching about tattoos. He have this Russian gun which was for KGB, and this is kind of about Russia mafia. There actually is kind of being made by KGB. Like traditional Russian mafia, it's a kind of like all these bosses of Russian mafia they affiliated with KGB. They need to be like KGB agents, actually. So here I've been like researching about all these tattoos they might have, like what is meaning of them. So like this guy, he's open safes, and there here like tattoo on his eyelids, and like if he close his eye, here is written like "Don't wake me up." Here, let's see. Here's just some from French, some stuff, some characters. So same, it's like now I don't like it, and in a way is too many lines, too realistic. So it's actually no good, because it's like I don't want to kind of compete in realism, you know. I want to make some dynamic, impressive, creative story, you know. And then I kind of, while doing this, I realize it, like Atoma, Masamune Shiri, they don't have so much realism, they don't draw so many details. It's not necessary. Myself, like when I watch like illustration or comic books, I like to see some creative work. I like to see how artists he make like he exclude information without kind of trying to imitate photograph. So all this I was just like study different views I want to include in my comic book, just to see like which can be used for which theme. So again, I see just example about you need to draw a lot, and just often you draw just to understand stuff, and you need to draw the stuff to have better idea. If you will not draw, if you will just look, it will not work. You need to try it. You need to try, see what you like, what you don't like, and make adjustments. Okay, so I think maybe like here we'll stop. My camera will off soon anyway. So here is like a big review of my comic books. It's not my sketchbooks. It's not all of them, but kind of rest is very similar. So it's just a lot of studies, copies, research. Somewhere is urban sketches. Main idea, like I show you already, like three type of sketchbook. One sketchbook as a type associated with certain topic, so it's help you to work more on this topic, because you have this sketchbook like this martial arts, for example, and it's not completely finished, so it's keep kind of give you this pressure like, hey, I'm not finished, you need to draw more, so you can make more studies of this subject. Like I have clothing, firearms, martial arts, right? Then other type sketchbook is urban sketch. So you take this sketchbook, you go somewhere, you travel, or you go, like when you have some free time, you can draw some stuff. So you take some sketchbook with yourself. And third type of sketchbook, something like this, when you make research, when you make exploration, you make experimentation. I make in this sketchbook also, I draw my tutorials for Gumroad, for YouTube, and just like, it's just a mess, kind of like this, just draw everything. It's just, I don't know. It's better than just draw on a pile of paper. Before I just draw it a lot on different paper and trash it. But now I like when it's not total like useless doodle. I like it to be like binded in some sketchbook. So it will be also a little memory kind of. And also I can see some progress kind of also. Yeah. So watch more my tutorials, share, tell your friends, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Then here's my gratitude for my members and Patreons, for supporter of this channel. So YouTube members Gabriel Muse, Korean friends, thank you. Blondie, yeah, Blondie today in the comments, also in the chat, thank you Blondie. Javier B, William Peters, Tio Smith, Jackie Moon Movies, Adam, Tess, Comtopes, Patreon, Jonathan Edwards, Martin Adams, P. Fox Comics, Kaya, Julian Glogassa, Clarissa Williamsbrink, Luke Dirty. Yeah, thank you for your support. And you can also support me, and you can join my Discord if you're a member of channel or Patreon. Yeah, see you in the next video.